Okay, good. Now we're finally ready to do some problems here. Let's start easy. Let's start slowly. So the first problem we will get, oh, it's nice and sweet, 6 minus 4 divided by 4. Okay, I gotta say something here. Resist the urge to just go left to right. Order of operations, you've got to say, okay, what am I going to be doing first here? One thing that might help is just to identify what operations that you've got going on there. So in this little simple problem, all I see is subtraction. Oh, let's get that back. Subtraction, and I'm not even going to touch it again, and division. Okay, there we go. So, if we are, what are we going to do first? Well, if you remember, let's remind ourselves, BIM, with this, like this, yes, they can be in any order. We've got subtraction over here, and we've got division here. So we go, okay, we've got to do division first, so we're going to underline the division problem, and in the next step, that is the only thing that we're going to do. So 4 divided by 4 is 1. If you haven't underlined something, it just comes down exactly as you see it from above. And then at this point, all we've got is subtraction. Oh, I can do that for you. Equals 5. Oh, is this easy? All right. Second one. I think we saw a problem like this before. Let's review this again. Let's change it slightly. Times 2. Okay, so we've got in this one, what operations do we have? We have division and we have multiplication. What do we do first? Oh, no, we don't always do multiplication first. We go left to right when we have those two combined. So we're going to, that's the first one we come to, so that's the one we do first. 12 divided by 6, 2. If you haven't underlined it, it comes down exactly the same. Oh, another easy problem, 2 times 2, we would get 4. Oh, I love order of operations. They look easy so far. Let's go to one that's involving a few more operations. 10 plus 14 times 2 divided by 7. Again, resist the urge to go left to right. Continuing on, then we go, okay, what operations do we have? Addition, multiplication, division. What do we do first? Multiplication. So let's underline that. Next step, if you haven't underlined it, you're going to write it exactly as you see it, but we have underlined this, so that means we're going to actually do it, and we would get 28. We haven't underlined divided by 7, so we write it again. Next step, what are we going to underline here? So we've got addition, division. I think you guys will guess. We will divide first, rewrite what we haven't underlined. 28 divided by 7 is 4, and ta-da-ta-da, all we have left is addition, and oh, 14. Not bad. Fourth one, oh good, we're finally getting something with parentheses here. Oh, this is interesting, these parentheses. Oh, we've got 2 different parentheses. So we know to do the parentheses first. So we've got to examine, well, what are those parentheses actually doing? So in this case, we have parentheses here, and we have, I'm not going to underline that. Let's go back. We have the first set of parentheses, and we have the second set of parentheses just around the -5. I hope you go, oh, you know that those parentheses around that -5, those are just cosmetic. So those don't fall into the P category for grouping of parentheses. So we don't have those parentheses down here at -5. We don't really need them. They don't really apply as parentheses in our order of operations, but these do. Do you see that? This indicates grouping. In other words, when you've got something going on inside the parentheses, do that first. That's saying you've got to take that 10 minus 3 first. So I'm going to underline that, do that first. So the next step, if I haven't underlined it, gets written again. But I actually do what I've underlined. 10 minus 3 is 7. Uh-oh, what do we got going on here? Because we lost the parentheses, but if we put them back, I think that's going to be a little bit more correct there, because these parentheses in the first step, they indicate grouping. Yeah, we got it. But then with respect to that 4, they also indicate multiplication. Okay? So one thing I'm going to say is, if in doubt, keep your parentheses. Okay, next step. We've got multiplication, division, and addition. What happens first? Well, yep, we're going to do the multiplication. Multiply that out. Write everything else again. Okay, I think we're ready to divide. There we go. And 14 plus that little -5. And I'm running out of space here, so I just want to point out that 14 plus a -5, those parentheses there are cosmetic. So that we don't need them. We could rewrite this as 14 plus a -5, but in either case, we would get 9. Okay, let's see. I think we can, ooh, yeah. Let's try one more involving parentheses. Ooh, and some exponents. We've got 100 plus 2 parentheses 4 squared minus 6 plus 2 cubed. Okay, good one. Everybody agree? We've got parentheses, and there's something going on inside those parentheses, so it indicates grouping. But within the parentheses, we've got something going on too. We've got both exponents and subtraction. So inside those parentheses, we've got to indicate, well, we've got to do that first before we can even do everything that's inside those parentheses. So first step, 100 plus 2 parentheses. This is the only thing we're going to do is square 14. We would square 4. We would get 16 minus 6 plus 2 cubed. And can I mention something here? I'm going to go ahead and give you a shortcut. Back here, at this first step, we decided we were going to take care of that exponent. If you want to, this little exponent is sitting out here as well. Let's go ahead. If you're doing the same level, you can kind of do them at the same time. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that as well. And 2 cubed, 2 times 2 times 2 would give us 8. Okay, so we still have those parentheses. We haven't finished doing that. We recognize those are grouping because there's something going on. So I'm going to take care of that. Plus 2. 16 minus 6 is 10, but I'm not going to lose those parentheses. Plus 8. Now, what operations do we have going on? If you're tempted to say parentheses, what do the parentheses indicate? What's their job there? The parentheses in this case here don't indicate grouping because there's nothing going on inside the parentheses to group. They indicate, yep, multiplication. And it's a good thing because I've already underlined it. We've got addition and multiplication going on, so we know to do the multiplication first. So I do it, and at this point, all I've got is addition, and we can say we would get 128. Love it. Okay, let's see. I think I better get to a new page. The 6th problem is the last one we'll do on this particular lesson. 50. Oh, I'm in love with 5s in this problem. Okay, we've got all sorts of things going on. We don't have any parentheses, but we do have division, multiplication, subtraction, exponents, and addition. So what do you do next? First, no parentheses. You go to the exponents. So we've got to do that. 50 divided by 2 times 5 minus 5 cubed is 125 divided by 5 plus 5. Okay, so it looks a mess. Go step by step. Look at the operations you've got, then decide what comes first. So I'm going to say you can see what operations we've got, and I think everybody would agree we've got to do this division because it's left to right. We do that first. 25 times 5 minus 125 divided by 5 plus 5. I know what you're thinking. I don't want to write all that down every single time. When you get really good at this and you don't make a mistake, you can take some shortcuts. But in the meantime, if you haven't underlined something, rewrite it all again. If you have underlined something, just do what you've underlined. Okay. Next, what do we have? Okay, this is going to happen first because we've got multiplication, subtraction, division, and addition. 25 times 5, 125 minus 125 divided by 5 plus 5. Oh, please be very careful here. There's a temptation to take that 25 minus 25 and get 0, but why do we not want to do that? Because we've got a division going on in this problem, and we always do the division or multiplication before we even think about adding and subtracting, unless it's inside parentheses. Okay, so we say we're going to have to divide that first. 125, which is this 125, minus 125 divided by 5 is 25, plus 5, and at this point we've just got addition and subtraction, and I'm going to assume you guys could get the answer. I get 105. Okay, I think we need to end this one. So we'll come back and do another 4 problems, and I think that will be it for R1. Whew, what a section. Okay, I'll see you in the very last section.